It's out of bullets.
Like an amputated limb, he stares on, his wrinkled mouth moving without a sound. The old man pulls back the hood of his plastic cape and looks up, his gaze still warm from his parched hands. Not the rifles in a shabby state. On the butt, you see Vespertine writing, burned into the wood.
No one said it has to be a Belmagrave.
From ballistics, it could...
It doesn't matter if it was made in Shanty. All it has the right type and the right calibre. I wonder how old it is.
The old man does not answer. He just stares in front of him. The old man keeps following your motion. Some kind of... This looked very much like the murder weapon. It could be used against him to get a confession. In time.
My name is your
The community
from I
51 minus 8 equals 43.
No. I was an resurrection until they turned it into a spa. 43 years and 10 months. It's not how a human being should...
What have you been doing?
Hiding. Fish. Always waiting. For her.
Her who?
Girl child. Revolution. Women are more susceptible to the historic opportunity for a revolution. I was just 16 years old. You could say I'm a second is all it took for reaction to take hold. May the 13th, 08, the combined huddled on the...
A terrible shame. Still...
No. Yeah, they'd all drowned in the lower levels. Or got torn to shreds above the map. And then you see that the bourgeois are not human. I had to fight it. It's not an island. What? It's a defensive fortification of the commune of Revachol. And I am its last surviving defender. The congenitally deformed coalition military death blow. You're one of them. Tell me, who speaks like that? We had 50 million people on Caillou alone. Iblis. The black-eyed angel. How does...
Now hold on there.
Supply.
How is your health?
I've been...
He does see.
TRCM.
I need to die. You don't have medical facilities? I have been running out of that stuff. There's nothing to... I haven't. I don't even know what. Inferno?
I would imagine it gets tremendously difficult.
Traitor. It's disgusting. It was hard and
There were
and others too. At night,
in the city, you move on a...
from bunker to bunker. Not anymore. No one cares now. I don't even have to hide. So you finally found it. I know.
So you've been there.
Sleeping.
You feel the dots connecting. Little dots on the map he's walked across.
I don't want to. They're all traitors. Pigs. The propaganda bunker.
Propaganda bunker?
They stored leaflets there. A lot of our boys did. I do. They're good. Plenty of tar.
The old man looks across.
You're with the RCM, the coalition-appointed mob that enforces bourgeois morals in Revachol. A so-called Lieutenant W. Freighter. Let's take me to
A spray of blood from his... Rene, the royalist on the coast, said.
liberal reactionaries signed that instrument. Traitors who should have been.
Is that part of why you've been here?
He just wipes the blood from his chin.
I don't think you did. No, I am not a soldier. I am an ideological trained in historical materialism. Then as
The old man does.
His job was...
scientific.
Awakened from shutdown by the promise of ideology. He nods slowly, then another tremor.
There's nothing serious in this world. It's a farce. Real music.
You need to address that remark.
It is the anthem of the world. In Grad, they sang break. How did it go? Something.
He waves erratically with his hand, annoyed that he...
I've used it.
Killing people?
It's a gun. I've used it.
Interesting. During...
There is no after the war.
So he's continued killing after. This is it. You can feel it, like battery acid on the tip of your tongue. Something you haven't felt in a while. But this is what you live for. The great serotonin jackpot. The solution. Go in straight. No euphemisms. No. Be careful now. Slow and steady does it.
The who now?
He heard you. He just wants to hear you say it again. This is dramatic flair on his part. Right choice. We're in.
Oh, yes.
Did you?
I am a son of a welder and an officer of the commune of Revachol.
A drop of blood in the saliva. Exhaust him with proof. The gun. The murder weapon. The scent of blood in the air. But what else? There was something you can't remember.
Not a lot of guns around that...
It's a real gun. You look like imbeciles.
Damn, he saw you. He's watched it happen. He would have a good view of the tribunal from here. It's not just empty boasting.
You know what? You're right. I'm convinced this made the shot. Should we call it? Good. This feels good, doesn't it?
Murder. I saw you poking.
You had direct visibility. There are embrasures in the concrete. You've been here a long time, Mr. Dras. Too long.
I'm ready to die.
He's practically admitting to it. Dead fascists for fascists. Done his part. Just one thing remains unclear. The rifle does not seem to have a scope.
Forget about your stupid fucking scope.
He lost it. He just doesn't know where it is. Forget it. Push on.
You're sad for your fascia brother, aren't you? One twig got broken. Now the others are sad. You're lost, Dwat. You're lost. Petty boy.
A drop of blood, that's right. Pile it all on him now.
I saw you poking.
You've been here.
I'm ready to...
He's practically just one thing remains unclear. The rifle does not seem to have a scope.
Because it's a sniper's nest, you stupid fuck. Radio Gosh is right. You have...
Wait, here it comes. There were Maybells in the grass when nowhere else. Nowhere in all of my...
Damn Maybells. So many this year, too. The spring is coming. No, it's already here. They blossom on the islets, the coast, too, before they piled their containers on top of it, filled with broken, useless trash for fat-fingered class.
He knows her, but hadn't heard the name.
My ears don't reach with the victim.
There is a small tremble. Look.
You know who he was. A coalition-trained murderer, armored and armed. He wasn't human. The blunt end of a... beating us to the ground. Got you.
This is it. Shot him. Shot him. Say shot him, not killed him.
Oh, the inhumanity. One paramilitary less in Revachol.
The lieutenant raises, while the lieutenant listens, holding his breath.
I had them in my sights, both of them, him and the whore. I was breathing. I didn't think I had a shot, nothing. And so...
Mr. Dross, are you aware you're confessing to murder?
Yes.
And you were looking at them, the victim and a young woman, having sex, through the scope of your rifle that night, before you shot him?
The old man.
Why?
Because that's what they were doing.
The motive. This is where the motive...
I don't understand. Do you, detective? I don't understand this part.
I'm always looking.
Are you always looking through the scope of a rifle?
A rifle scope has the...
And if you don't like it?
Click.
Yes. Think of it as a form of...
He will not stop now. These dialectical materialist types never do. Exploit it. You got him going. Connect every little piece now. Wrap this up like a gift.
Them. Fucking. I didn't like that. Jealousy is a reactionary concept. I didn't like the Reaver enjoying himself, and I wanted to see his head explode. That too. She should know better than to hold it. That's all it takes for the bullet to reach his head. Now that I think of it, I wasn't aiming for his mouth.
The caliber of bullet he used does not do that kind of damage.
There's no...
The coals of his eyes glisten suddenly.
Man needs to feel something else. In this fight, it helps if you have your eye on something there. It's weakness. Yes, over the years. It's not unproletarian. No. I don't really know. I was there one night and she was crying, like a child, the day after I killed him. Yes, I don't know why I do the things I do anymore. Maybe, I told you, I have holes in my brain now. If you can't...
In the silence, the lieutenant draws a line in his notes.
Since she came to Martinez, I saw her sneaking in the reeds early in the morning, behind the Fell building. It was
Past the Fell building on the coast? What was she doing there?
hiding something in the water. She had a fag after she'd done it. I was up in the ruins there. Her passport and tickets to Villiers. And from there to Cacheb.
In the free state of Seminine, hidden away at the edge of the earth, near the Pale.
Yes, after she'd gone. It was a submersible.
Sloppy. We should have gotten her to tell us about this. Did you take the documents?
No, I put them back. Why would I take them? I'm not going to phone. Oh, I did. She had a face like an archipelago. I could see her.
You could tell she was a spook?
She had different color hair on the photo, and glasses.
He's setting it up for the bruises. You can't make that out in a scope.
You can't see bruises through a scope. It's just a blur. I have my ways. Not in this lifetime, Dwat.
This one's gone. Make up somehow. Connect something else. Fast. No, it's not. Fix this now. Move on extra carefully. Be incredibly minute.
Her.
The lieutenant nods at you in acknowledgement.
Where is she, that Clasier? I haven't seen her there for days. I know she's gone. Locked up, or on the run. She kept staring into the scope like she knew I was here. It doesn't.
He knew she knows. She was looking at the island, figuring it out, day by day, cigarette by cigarette.
We could get more. We've got him talking.
Who knows what he's seen and done over the years?
Tragic comedy.
A strange little engine seems to fire up in it. The familiar put of hatred.
Specifically, the whole city is because of the racists pumped full of steroids. Yes, the fly larva in his container. He let some nihilistic advertising yuppies erect a statue of Philippe III, a syphilitic murderer, on the town square. Not since the serfs of ancient Pericarnassus. Intense, like animals, like those boom morons on the ice. A pity they didn't drown in that tent of theirs. The worst of them is the blood-drenched Sucrion on her yacht, licking her lips. The old whore's gone now. The worst is that old... Every morning he's there, while the parasites he fought to protect are off in Ozon, or Quayamoran, or some other island they built their palaces on, feeding on drugs and having sex with their own children. That's all the rich really want. Sex with their own children. Throughout history, even the royal bloodline of the suzerain, it's all just an excuse for them to have sordid sex. At least that old cunt. We did good when we pushed him under the horse car. Until, in the 30s, those
The disco whores are too much. Hatred shuts down his brain's language center, leaving only a nonsensical sputter. There was something about a statue and nihilistic advertising agency people might be worth investigating.
Syphilis is a disease Philip III contracted in a whorehouse. The statue is an abomination. The bacteria entered his brain and made him squander.
That is technically possible, although Philippe...
And he still went on to govern Revachol for 25 years. We lost 2 million lives toppling. What a keen remark. Yes, it is, isn't it? It's still there. Do you know why? I do. Some advertising cockroaches use their accumulated capital to erect a new, ironic art is a bourgeois
Wait, the bullet hole in Philippe's heart. The statue had been shot. That was him. It had to be. He's already proven capable of taking a far more complicated shot from here.
I did. A needless, sentimental gesture. I should have spared the bullet for a deformed monster of liberal capitalism. Shameful, really.
Yes, shameful. So many others to punish over the years. Isn't that right, detective?
The fat union man let them put it there. Corrupt as he is. Probably got a fat...
He keeps having opinions about the union's leadership.
Another hideous...
Disappointment. So personal. He displays a familiarity.
That deformed toad? I wouldn't expect him to wipe his...
Edgar.
He talks a big game about uprising and social base. They might first against the wall with him.
The Clares wouldn't miss a man hidden in their own backyard. Not all this time. Nothing happens in Martinez without them knowing.
Of course. Maybe the Clears asked him to.
I haven't approached anyone. I hid. It was Edgar.
How did he know you were here?
He didn't just stumble in like an oaf. He figured it out. Some kids told him about... Stepped right off the boat and walked down where you came. I even kept the door open for him. I was right about one of those things. 20 years ago. Neither of them could walk now, could they? They were less fat then.
That's around the time the Clares came to power.
Edgar did the talking. Paid his respects like I were a fossil in a uniform. Offered platitudes about the struggle. Flaunted his pink degree. Even quoted Marzoff. Never trust a social democrat who quotes Marzoff. Oh, and charity, too. They love their charity. Offered me blankets and social housing. Let me be here. The ZOC is an unlawful successor of the Commune of Revachol. We took this fortification from the Loyalists. Even the Clares understand this.
They let him be here. Understanding was a courtesy. But why such a courtesy?
You know why I killed that fucker, Dwat. As to Edgar, I'm not doing anything for that swine.
Again? What if...
Tried teaching him some Marzovian socioeconomics. They didn't stick. We parted.
Okay, he didn't do the hanged man for them, but he's insinuating something. The connection comes to you like a splash of cold water. Dark, cold water.
Hey.
He acknowledges it. Here we go. A twist.
That bourgeois cow. Tiffin Holly was her name. Licked the rich man's hand every time he came to town. Never seen a labor leader so hot on mutual cooperation. And money. She liked that too. That Holly was a real bridge builder and a deal maker. She was, and she was real soft on those money men. Had a Barbara Muskova bag over her shoulder that she called in, they say, on the eve of battle. Ran away, vanished like a piss stain.
No, that's not...
Did she? They say her daughter called in, not her personally. But that wasn't really her daughter, was it?
No, I guess it was not. She couldn't make the call herself.
Here it is. The bend in the rope.
Because she was dead?
Just say nothing.
The cow caught a bullet in her right lung. Fell into the canal grasping her tit and drowned. Or bled? Hard to say. It was a sloppy job. And a moving target. She was going home, waddling. Dressed in yellow. Drunk like she often was. The ruins are black. Heading home to Grand Couronne or Betancourt. Someplace like that. Where they build those new bâtiments for the people who flourish in the hell around her. And the ruins. Someone shot her. Or maybe the cow just fell. My memory is full of holes. All I know is nothing changed. Not in the material base, not in the hegemony. There was no uprising. Just words.
Edgar didn't keep his part of... If you were to testify to this, give the RCM something on Edgar, you could walk. We would strike everything you've done and process you as a POW. You were in a war. You were on assignment. We could even extradite you to the Samaran People's Republic.
A degenerate worker state. Goat shit. No, thank you. I'm Revacholian. My days are short. I will rot away here, in a moral intern cell. I will not testify to anything. I saw it happen, and I liked it. That's all I have to say. I didn't live and fight for 40 years to end up as a collaboration. Everyone is a blobber in this world. Everyone betrays everyone. They're all already locked up for betrayal. The best ones, the ones with heart, were slaughtered, trampled. Every fucking morning for 34 years. Throwing that ball. One ball against the other. I've always loathed. Royalist ghouls played like it was life itself. Click, clack across the water each day. And that uniform, like a parrot plumage. I won't even mention that he's a traitor to his race. A petanque maniac race traitor. What is there to be agitated about? The unholy ghoul? I love him there. He reminds me of everything we fought for. At least we killed that Fistel. Whores. Glad? It's all gone.
His lip curls into a sneer at the memory.
Glad? It's all gone. I ain't going.
The old man stares despondently at the logs. It's like for a 60-year-old man with stomach trouble who spent his entire life. The old man stares despondently. What strikes you about this gaunt man is not the stomach pain, or the cough, or the malnutrition. For indeed, he speaks fluidly. His movements are rapid, if erratic. His voice, despite the cough, is there. It is capable of expressing complicated. It's a mystery. This animation comes at a cost too. Erratic hand gestures, thought processes cut off like threads, as he just You've seen demented people before. This feels similar, yet different. When his thoughts move, they are lucid, keen even. Not.
No, I'm not okay. I shit blood, and I'm surrounded.
There it is again. Erratic hand motions, bouts of rage, and the stomach thing too, of course. The old man stares despondently at.
What? But you said I would be taken to the...
Your wayfarer rights have been suspended. Information provided to the officers on the scene will be used against you by the prosecution. You will be given legal counsel within 1 week and must face court in 44 days. Do you understand? Do you understand?
But... No, I don't want to. I have to stay here.
He's sweating. Beads are forming on his forehead.
Your confirmation is not required, sir. Now on to the boat.
There it is again, to your north, as it has been since you came to the coast. Something completely different. It sounds like a bow, very slowly.
Maybe there is room for 3 on the boat. What?
What are you talking about? Is this...
Your skin crawls. A delicate tangle of arms and legs unfolds from the reeds, limb by limb, to then just stand there, moving its scythe-like arms in ghostly silence.
What are you talking about? There's nothing there.
The stick insect is over 3 meters tall. It looks straight. You feel your legs shaking under you, and your gun hand move to your holster to grab the gun.
Tell me what you see, damn it. I can't make out one small thing in the reeds.
I can see it.
4 simple words, thank God. If he can see, but that means it's really there, spinning slowly, in absolute silence.
Be very, very careful.
The creature stands on long stilt-like legs, antennae hanging from its head like a woman's hair. Reed-like tufts stick out of its joints. As the insect moves its forearms, the hiss is different from the strings you heard before. It says something else in a lower pitch. Chick, 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 s, chick, 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 s.
It is.
You glance over your shoulder. No, the flash will scare the creature off. Warn him now.
We need a photo. No one will believe us.
From the corner of your eye, you see a sudden cascade of motion ripple through the phasmid's limbs. A series of ultrasonic clicks fills your ear.
I won't be one of those fools who didn't take a picture.
You see the phasmid turn to him, its mandible antennae reaching out. Its motions are quick, sudden.
Understood. Of course.
The spindly mechanism turns itself back to you, its antennae taking their measure of the air, slowly. Slowly, with your breath held, you take 2 small steps toward them. Sweat drips from your brow, soaking your chest. The tracheal system on the creature's abdomen expands in front of you to take it. Hissing and clicking, it extends its mandible-like antennae to greet you. You're right below it now, looking up at the colossal chitin of its white limbs.
Maybe it is real. The pheromone.
About now, he is ready to... The insect's head is crowned with reed-like scales. Breathing you in, your sour, greasy semiochemicals on the breeze. No reply. A total ancient silence comes from its mouth, along with what appears to be some kind of foam. The stridulations of its limbs continue. You were right. Little bubbles form on the mouth parts of the creature. The faintest smell, like you've never felt before. Like burnt roses.
Careful. It may be poisonous.
The foam slowly turns a darker shade, like burnt caramel, as the insect moves its, letting out that same smell, like summer burning. The insect stops its stridulation, seeming to observe you. Suddenly, there is silence. As you do, the invertebrate comes to life, its limbs moving, praying to you. Unwittingly, the insect continues its stridulations. As it moves, tuft-like structures, still pretending to be plants, rustle along on its joints. Nothing. Its simple eyes give off no flicker of light. No one is home. The twitches of its limbs. creature stands. Read like the hiss is different from the strings you heard.
It is.
You glance over. No, the flash will scare the creature off.
We need a photo.
From the corner of your eye, you see
I won't be one of...
you see the phasmid turn to him. Its mandible antennae.
Understood. Of course.
The spindly mechanism turns itself back to you. Its antennae taking their measure of the air. Slowly. Nothing changes in the cyclic. Its insect mind is impenetrable to your reasoning. Slowly, with your breath, sweat drips from your brow. The tracheal system on the creature's hissing and clicking, it extends it.
Maybe it is real.
About now, the insect's head is breathing you in. Your sour, greasy semiochemicals. The insect, suddenly, as you do, praying to you. Unwittingly, the insect continues its stridulations. As it moves, tuft-like, no reply. You were right. The faintest smell.
Careful. It may be...
The foam slowly turns, letting out that same smell, like summer burning.
I exist. So am I. I was born to detect sucrose rewards and semiochemicals. What were you born to detect? Yes, no one detected me for such a long, long time. For thousands of years. I didn't. No one believed I exist. Almost no one. Until you came, detective. Dripping of blood that smells like... No, you're awake. I am real. Light is full. Tell me what it's like for you. But I will tell you what it's like for me. Fire? Where? I do not have fire inside me. In me. Now, I will tell you what it's like for me. For me, it is a series of half-lit images, shapes of plants and animals, and internal sensations. I am at the end of a narrow funnel, weightless, so light, it only feels like something to be me. In truth, perhaps I'm nothing. I certainly do not have a soul. Few of us can begin to imagine the horror of you, with all of creation reflected in your forebrain. It must be like the highest of hells, even when you're sleeping. And when you wake, you carry it around on your neck, with eyes open that cannot help but swallow more behind the mirror. I feel great. That must be incredibly hard. The arthropods are in silent and meaningless awe of you. Know that we're watching. And when you fall, we will come to raise you up. Bud from you, banner-like, blossom from you and carry you apart in a sky funeral, in honor of your passing. But not me, because I'm just a leaf eater.
Detective.
Not even the birds know that. Not even the water lily. think we should eat it. If it's a leaf, you can put it in your mouth. Or a reed.
Wait, so
Yes, they don't mind. Yes, I once cloned myself and ate the little ones. It was winter, and I woke up at the wrong time. It was an accident. I am an unknown species of the order Phantasmadia, endemic to the Insulandian Insula. For the last 350 years, I have hidden in plain sight, masquerading as the reeds. I went unnoticed by the first settlers and the land surveyors of the suzerain. Also, by the soldiers I have stayed hidden through 4 forms of government and 2 scientific revolutions, until I was accidentally discovered by a detective of the citizen militia in Revelshop, district of Martinez. March. No, you are. The moral of our encounter is, I am a relatively medium life form, while it is you who are a total extreme madness. The Pale too came with you. No one remembers it before you. The Nidarians do not. The radially symmetrics do not. There is an almost unanimous agreement between the birds and the plants that you are going. It is a nervous shadow cast into the world by you, eating away at reality. A great, unnatural territory. Its advent coincides with the arrival of the human mind. You're a violent and irrepressible miracle. The vacuum of cosmos and the stars burning in it are afraid of you. Give me enough time. We suspect it will be something like the oxygen holocaust that wiped out anaerobic life 2.6 billion years ago, when organisms first started.
instead of air, you exhale thoughts. There are no trees that eat thoughts.
Everything your eyes touch goes back there, behind the nose mirror. What if you blink? Are we still here? Please don't blink. What if he misplaces us all one day, or just forget? So it is already happening. Soon, one of you will close your eyes and open them to see that none of this ever existed.
It doesn't look like that, no. You're just staring at it. Okay. Is it somehow related to the case? I think we should take the picture, and then you should back away from the unstudied species.
No, there is one more. Thank you. I also have one more thing to say to you before you go. That woman, turn from the ruin. Turn and go forward. For freedom. She was hell on earth. It doesn't take a 3-meter stick insect to tell you that.
Okay.
There is no change in the insect's motion while it's being aimed by the camera.
In 3. If it moves, you jump back. I'll shoot. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
The shrill flash of the camera cuts the air like the blade of a sword. The phasmid freezes in its bright light. Head turned toward the lieutenant, hypnotized by the flash. It stands frozen before you.
I got it.
A shudder pulses through the creature's limbs. It jolts back to life, like a record continuing where it left off, in a sway. As you're turning away, the phasmid mirrors your movements, stepping on the water, the long limbs carrying its feather weight without breaking its surface. And just like that, it's gone. Skating and something under it. In the place it stood, bobbing there, among the reeds.
It's gone. Apparently, yes. Like a water strider. Only... looks like a nest of some sort. We should have a look.
What now?
Our suspect is not looking so good. We need to check on him.
What is it? What do you want from me? I can't.
Something is very wrong with him now.
See.
Mr. Dross?
The man does not respond. He keeps staring, black eyes glazed over and bulging from their sockets. His gap-toothed man, the plastic cape, feels coarse. A light shiver passes the man. Other than that, no.
He's going into some kind of psychomotor immobility. The good news is, this solves our...
The trembling mouth appears to sigh.
Between this and the broken tire he's used for a boat, I think it's safe to leave him here, while we go and get help. It will need to be medical first, I'm afraid. Old age and shock. Yes, the arrest and the appearance of the phasmid, the combined stress. But you think it's something...
There's much more. Quite a few things about that health check you did on him make sense now.
He was energetic and articulate. After all these years alone, with little hygiene or medication, I would expect worse. He does not seem to be animated now it's left. Honestly, I'm ready to believe anything at this point. Maybe it is psychoactive. I mean, why not? It's 3 meters tall. That could be part of the shock. But you're right, something is off here.
No response.
Then how did we see it? Oh, you mean, whatever does this, does it over time? Teenagers, kids, drunks, sightings are brief, and hence not credible. But anyone who spends a long time... Mr. Dross, have you ever... The doctors will have to look at this. I hope your station has better medical personnel than 57. This is a little advanced for a nurse. He did seem distressed when it finally came to arresting him, like he didn't want to leave this place, and I have absolutely forgotten to take notes. I hope I remember all of this. This will be one hell of a report. Thank God we have the photo.
No one would believe you without it.
We should think about getting back to the mainland, to get help. He'll be safe here, if we don't take too long.
The skiff is swaying on the waves by the dock.
Let's. We are done here.
The skiff rocks gently under your weight as you get in. But for the sound of conversation on the water, you reach the jetty and climb out of the skiff.
Look what the tide brought him. Harry, you're bleeding all over the place. You're half dead.
Whatever this is, it is completely unimportant compared to what you've just seen.
Bothered by it? Harry, you look like you... Oh, fuck it. Let's not get into that. We're not forgetting about anything. Look at you.
Hello, I'm Trent Heilerstein. I believe we've met on...
I'm your goddamn partner, Jean-Vic Kemar, and this is your special task force. Or what's left of it. Special Consultant Trent Heilerstam, Patrol Officer Judith Minot.
Hi.
We've come to scrape what's left of you off the pavement.
Lieutenant Kim Kitsuragi, Precinct 57. We've just come from the island, where our investigation led us.
The scene is making even him feel as though he has to justify your actions.
We might need your help with something later.
As if he recalled that he's in fact a decorated police lieutenant and not a naughty boy.
But this is clearly a departmental matter, so I'm going to leave you to discuss it among yourselves.
It's good to meet you, Lieutenant Kitsuhagi.
Letting the lieutenant know he shouldn't feel embarrassed over the shitstorm that's about to befall you.
Harry, we want to help you. Trent, I believe this is where you come in?
I don't quite know what I'm doing here. I was asked to participate as an expert. I think I need to manage your expectations a little. I'm at best in my background is in something else entirely. I engage in neurology on a merely theoretical level. In fact, I should probably get...
No, Trent, it's too late. You're part of this shit now. What have you got to say for yourself, shit kid?
What does he have to say for himself? He left you to catch the bullets. Shit kid. What an interesting moniker.
God damn it, Harry. You told us to fuck off. You said we're cramping your style. Your detective god. Fuck everything. All will burn. Detect or die. Are you sure? So you haven't been telling everyone what a boring cop you are? And that you should kill yourself? People say you've been out of your mind. I asked around.
What am I? I was asked to share my take on some of the more fringe academic theories developed in Königstein in the 30s regarding partial...
He's here to see if you're insane. He's smart. Let's move on. Yes, I was spying on you. I was in the bar, wearing a wig and stupid sunglasses. You didn't recognize me. I heard you lost your mind and your memory. I wanted to see if it was true. And it is, Harry.
In the crowd, there was a man and a woman in RCM uniform. In his defense, we were in a hurry.
The cafeteria manager you fucked over told us where you went.
And the people on the street helped us too, with your whereabouts.
Yeah, Major Crimes Unit, under Lieutenant Dubois and Vicomar. Ring any bells? Refresh your memory? It's a goddamn Major Crimes Unit. There's you, me, Jude, Tron fucking Heidelstein, and Guillaume Baby.
I'm technically just a civilian advisor.
Oh, fuck you. You're part of this shit show. Oh, that's an interesting story, actually. Guillaume Bevy is a police reporter who joined our team. He was really good. Then he left because he lost faith in your ability to lead the unit. Other people have left too. Good, smart people. People we won't get back. Only me and this really patient patrol officer are still here. And Tron because I'm forced.
Is this Guillaume Bevy blonde and partial to sunglasses?
See? There. He's getting it. I was impersonating him. Look at me, I'm G-Bevy. It was going to be funny, but then you really did have brain damage. So not so much anymore. Do? It's a Major Crimes Unit. We clear the desk of cases so Precinct 41 doesn't look like the worst station in town. We are shit tier.
The 41st isn't...
You. Shit kid? That's you.
Despite all that you've done, the deserter, the phasmid, the case,
No, because of all that you've done. The bells aren't ringing because you have brain damage. Trant, this is where you come.
Well, he doesn't have visible tremors, he talks without slurring, he can drive a boat, he's standing, reasoning. All good signs, but complete retrograde amnesia, episodic and semantic.
Meaning, you forgot both who you are and the definitions of money, Isola, Pell, and so on.
As displayed in our interactions with him here, and also his interactions with the locals, where he did not remember being a law official. It's all very interesting.
Interesting?
Yes, interesting. I have my theories, but I would like to hear Harry's thoughts first. Harry, what do you think happened to you? Neurologically, psychologically, and why not socioeconomically?
He is. He's getting better. And I can confirm that he drank a lot of alcohol prior to it happening.
I believe he drank. People do that, especially this one. What they don't do is forget their whole life because of drinking.
But Detective Vigmer, he has blanked out before. Yes, a couple of times. After some of the more serious benders. One was after the two drunks case, the other...
So you don't remember not remembering. Beautiful. The two cases in your ledger, the unsolvable case and the Next World mural, those were recent. Those cases were hard on you.
Interesting. So at first he dipped his toes into it, prepared. That's where he would have gotten the idea, yes. Practice. And then he used alcohol.
What do you mean?
Well, here's my theory. What if this is an absolutely normal reaction to the world we're living in? What if this is not a significant anomaly at all? Something to be explained, approached as a defect? Look at the sensory input here. Look at the ruins, the neon. Listen to the radio, the multitudes, the people. Live here for 40 years. As a police detective, he's like a magnetic reader on the world tape, to borrow a known metaphor. Harry's been pushed flat against it. Total input. Hardwired to the free market. He just needed for its end.
Okay, Trent, thank you. That's absolutely meaningless. I'm glad we brought you. Will he or will he not be able to work in the major crimes unit? Is he a cretin now? I want to know that.
He's not a cretin, and he is able to do work. If not in his previous leadership role, then as a line detective.
No one even mentioned that. I misphrased my question. It should have been, is he able to put his clothes on and use the body? Or do we need to get him on a disability pension? Now nothing. Now we're just going to stand here. No, now we discuss that. What the fuck did you do to a motor carriage? Why is it there, Harry? So refreshing. He just admits it. Thank you for your honesty. Thank you for destroying 45,000 real of police property that's coming out of everyone's payslip. It doesn't matter. Your badge, Harry. Show me your badge.
In a rush to demonstrate your badge, your eager fingers can't sustain a grip on the smooth plastic, and the badge slips out of your hand. Not today, badge.
And your gun?
As if having your badge and gun are natural states, not achieved. What is it with all these material objects?
He has it. And he didn't drop it. You're drunk like a bum, Harry. Put that thing away before you kill someone. I don't buy it. Why do you smell like a corpse then, huh?
He's wounded. It's been a long week, and he's handled an actual corpse.
A bit of a week? You're drunk, and you let a suspect escape, a certain Clasier, because you were too drunk to assess a flight risk.
We've read the reports, Harry. Lieutenant Kitsuhagi's. We know.
Well, if she was specially trained, I'm not even gonna get into the other suspect, the one who shot herself in the head. Or the fact that you very likely sold your gun for booze. That's peanuts. That's nothing. That's a humorous anecdote. Compared to the 6 people who were gunned down, the streets are literally red with blood, Harry. It was fucking mass murder.
He did everything he could. We did everything we could. The company hired and vetted mercenaries. Lieutenant Dubois got between them and the locals. He did so at considerable risk to his own life. He was shot, not once, but twice. We stopped an execution, not a negotiation. The loss of life was minimal compared to what it could have been. Detective, it's better if I do that.
It's so much better if he does this. 1,000,000 times.
Thank you for the input, Lieutenant Kitsuragi. I didn't mean to suggest you didn't handle the situation.
He thinks of apologizing, but decides against it.
You've spent the week with him on this case. What is your take?
On the case?
On lieutenant Geoffrey Dubois.
Well, the drinking, the gun losing, also losing the badge. That's all true. Although he has not been drinking on the job this week.
See?
1 week.
Then there's the boring cop issue. Despite all the obvious and almost grotesque mannerisms and sartorial choices, he still insists he isn't characteristic enough. It's odd, especially in light of his political views. Detective Dubois is, as you may know, a hustler. He grinds. He makes the real. He's a visionary and a money engineer, which is just... And then there's the motor carriage in the sea, something I was not present for. But despite all this, he is a great detective, one of the best I have seen, in fact. He can talk human beings into telling him anything, and he doesn't stop. In all the time I've spent with him, he has not once stopped working on the case. He is tireless, madly driven. And he solved it, near perfectly. In 1 week we have a confession, a murder weapon, and the perpetrator. Locked on the island right now, awaiting transportation. He apprehended a revolutionary brigade who stayed hidden for 50 years, ever since the revolution, who's probably committed other murders over those years. Oh, and he also discovered a new species.
A new species?
A colossal stick insect. It was on the island, camouflaged as the reeds. It unfolded from the reeds. I think we may be dealing with the Insulindian phasmid.
He takes out the photo of the phasmid and shows it to the officers across the yard. The wind blows, flapping the glossy rectangle in his hand. You hear gasps beneath the howling of the wind.
As you can see, it's about 3 meters tall. In fact, we think it may be the largest land invertebrate ever discovered.
Fucking hell is that? Is this somehow connected to the case?
Detective? The old man was not aware of the phasmid's presence. Exhibiting a strange, atypical dementia, he fell into a stupor after its appearance. He became near catatonic.
So it is connected.
I must say, this is absolutely extraordinary. I don't even have words for it.
Yes. It really does make it hard to fire the drunk.
Now you make your case. Now is the time. Now or never.
Female? What makes you think so?
You had to see it. It had the subdued colors of a female. And the nesting behavior too, I think.
Incredible. Were there eggs in the nest?
Not as far as I could see. There were other things there, though.
As in cloning itself? What makes you think so? Interesting. Then it is especially vulnerable to disease. A single strain of bacteria could wipe out the entire species. We're probably talking conservation efforts here.
In his mind, he's already planning a nature reserve and knows a good guy for that.
Yes, but also reed-colored, beige and brown, a little green on the outside. After unfolding from a single stalk, it still retained parts that looked like reed tufts on its limbs.
Incredible. The PR value of this is exceptional. Carp discovers new species. Maybe even discovers the Insulindian phasmid. No, that's too much.
This would really help with some of the problems we've been having.
Absolutely, this is great. This does not say vigilante murderers to me at all. This says science, news, human interest. You know, it's a really good thing you have that photo.
Without it,
Quit while you're ahead? Or no?
Lilianovich. A revolutionary matronym. The custom started in Grad, where they have patronyms, Krasovich, Lasovich, etc. The revolutionaries saw this as a chauvinist atavism, so they used matronyms, derived from the mother's name instead. This man's mother was Lilian, his Lilian's son, Lilianovich. The custom was overturned after the revolution failed, but not before it made it to Revachol.
So, it is what a soldier of the ICM would be called.
thank you, Trant. Thank you for that piece of cultural theory. You said you have a motive?
Of course, excuse me, I just thought it was noteworthy.
He wasn't quite sure about the straggler before he heard this detail. It must have convinced him.
Jealousy. I thought this Lilianovich was an old man. To have been hiding for 50 years. Like 70-something.
A strange psychosexual fixation, aggravated possibly by proximity to the phasmid and its chemicals. He himself gave a political reason, said he had killed an enemy combatant. Also, we have ballistics from the gun, matching the bullet found in the dead mercenary's head, and 2 officers on the scene that Mr. Dross confessed to.
It's a clean win.
Oh, it's way more than that. Win who back? You don't
That's not how personal relationships work, Harry. You found a straggler, the first since the 30s, kudos. But that doesn't change anything. It doesn't hide the smell of booze on the wind either.
God damn it. Doesn't it ever leave? It is there. Like in your bones or something.
This is a conversation for when we are no longer out in the open, in Martinez, wherever Arte.
And eyes, too. Your return from the island must not have gone...
Understood, of course.
I would prefer not to partake in anything union-related, for political neutrality.
This has to be good stuff for him to backpedal out of it at first mention.
Yes. Fallen through a gap in a boardwalk.
The body was transported to Precinct 41, our morgue. I had Tilbrook and Mullins take care of funeral arrangements and family stuff.
You're not the only cop in the world, Harry. This all comes back to us.
Still, good work with the missing person, Detective.
It's still a point for you. No denying it.
I don't want to, but you discovered a new species and solved the murder. So I have to. Jude,
Anything that ends the trial is okay with me.
Agreed. The public relations potential of this is too valuable to let go.
okay. We have vehicles in the square, and the perpetrator needs to be taken into custody. Let's go.
Now you will finally get to know who you are. The man looks westward, jingling his car keys in his pocket.
Who are you? You're a gym teacher, Harry. Well, obviously you're not a gym teacher anymore, but...
Before you were a cop, you were a gym teacher in Coron. It's getting really cold outside. Should we maybe...
No, a regular one.
Harry, it explains everything. The running around, the jumping, the bicep girth, your inexplicable facial hair. Some of your more old-school wording choices. Your posture, even. The constant stretches.
And this guy, too. God, even this javelin-throwing freak here.
In your 20s or late 20s, you've really let yourself go since then. Yes, you taught gym in Cool. I believe that's the term. Taught gym at a high school. You were a high school gym teacher.
The smell of sweat and glue, the worn floorboards. Coudon is just east of Jamrock. It was a short walk every morning to the baseball field or the sports building.
The regular. You found some chick. She inspired you to fight the big fight. Be more than you are. All that.
You, every morning, walking from Voyager Road to teach gym. She, leaving for the academy with her spring coat on. The air filled with the smell of smoke and raspberries and incredible hope. An ocean full of hope.
I knew it. I knew no normal human being can run like that. He's an honest-to-God gym teacher.
Us? We're the bloody murder station, haven't you heard? We're the bad guys. No one likes us.
That's not true. Jamrock is too big for one precinct. You're just understaffed. And everyone respects the 41st. You have Captain Price.
Thank you, Lieutenant. You're being kind. It is an understaffed station and the district is too big, which is why we need to...
Get back to it. We left Torson and McLean to run the Sea Wing. It's not good. Mac the Torso Torson and Chester McLean. They're not fit to run a wing. Believe me. Things are shaky as it is.
They are damn iconic though, Torson and McLean.
Yeah, not like us. Two clinically depressed old men. Where's the contrast here? We are garbage. God. There are 4 wings, Harry. A, B, C, and D. We're in C. It's made of losers and clock punchers. You and I reconceptualized it as a task force. It was a mistake.
There's also a lot of outside help involved, not only me. Other losers too.
Ptolemy Price? He's the son of the old Price, one of the founders of the RCM.
He's one of the most highly regarded men in the force. You're lucky.
Somewhere under the curved roof of a former silk factory, shaped like a ladybird with 2 chimneys, Police Captain Ptolemy Price sits behind a heavy wooden desk. Resident medic Nix Gottlieb pours him coffee. It's silent in the captain's office. They speak of change, the city, the tension on the streets. They speak of the events of April and the blood on the streets in May.
Okay, it's not the bloody murder station. It's an old converted silk mill with green desk lamps and a coffee corner. A lot of good people work there, hard, every day.
Jamrock is the largest ghetto in Rivershoal. Faubourg, technically, but it's divided into 11 districts. Jamrock only has us.
The press will blow over. Jamrock is lucky to have you, and it's often considered to be the greatest of the districts. You're lucky to have it.
Thank you again, Lieutenant. It's not a mystery. Some chick fucked you over. Also, you were drunk.
You really went with it too. Really maximized the damage.
Dora something? Dora Ingerlund. Yeah, you mentioned her name.
Not Dora Dubois.
Something like that. Half Vazan.
Vasa is where beautifully and impossibly blonde people come from.
No one is married anymore. This is Revachol. God, I don't know. 6 years ago, she was way before my time. Yeah, or 7. You're not doing too good there. It's an old man thing. 2 old years equals 1 normal year. That and incredibly bangable. She was incredibly fuckable. A beautiful bourgeois woman. Wayfish. Like a Welkin, basically.
Snow Welkin. Blonde heartbreak pain Welkin.
I've only seen a picture, but it's obvious you formed a real spiritual connection with how pretty she was. One you never recuperated from.
Look, the sun is about to go down. It's time to go.
I think she taught in the Académie des Arts, east of the river. Way east. Hard to say which came first, the middle-class chick or the drink. Egg and the chicken kind of thing. My point is, you need to see a psychiatrist about this shit. Not a psychologist. Several degrees harder. Is there something harder than a psychiatrist? A forensic psychiatrist? Go talk to that.
In other words, he's heard enough about this.
No. You're too unstable to work for a mob boss. You're suicidal, Harry. No mob boss would take you.
I assure you, I wouldn't consult for a corrupt unit.
He would immediately backpedal out of it.
Who is...
She lives at 1113 Tabernacle Road in Jamrock, remember?
Tabernacle? It's on the way over. Near where you live on Perdition.
Fine, if we're gonna drop you off anyway.
She and her husband were conducting the search for the Phasmid. It's their discovery, in part. They should know as soon as possible. It would do you good to deliver some positive news for a change.
Watch out, or she'll faint.
Well, first I will go back to my station and write the most detailed report anyone has ever seen. It will have to be good to cover all these. Then I will have a serious talk with my captain. Detective, we just stopped a small-scale war. Something is happening to Revachol. I don't know what yet, but it's going to be a hard spring for the RCM. We need to get ready, infiltrate, investigate. Talk to Captain Price? I'd rather not ruffle the feathers of two captains with my doom-mongering. Work with Price? I'm flattered, but I don't know if I...
This truly came as a surprise to him. Not a bad one, but he's at a loss.
Flattered? You're Lieutenant Kitsuragi. We would be flattered if you even considered.
I would have to tie things up in GRIH first. But, I mean, whatever is coming, Jamrock will be more central to it than the harbor.
And we also have a huge caseload, Lieutenant. Piles that we need to get back to. Mountains, even.
I do like the sound of that.
He's really considering it.
Good.
Fuck it, let's go. Tron brought his motor carriage. It's a 20-minute drive to Jamrock.
Under the afternoon sky, the great district hums. A chessboard of wooden houses, 80,000 living souls, and chimney stacks. Fire traps as far as the eye can see. From Main Street to Precinct 41, to Boogie Street, forking into the snow-swept horizon. You close your eyes and hear the dogs bark. A lone woman sits by a factory window, dreaming of meteorite strikes. On Rue de Saint-Jérôme, a square bullet slides into a square-shaped chamber. In Old South, a man without eyelids smiles. Spring has come. It's time. Torsen? Yes. McLean? Yes. Heidelstein? No. Vicmere? Yes. Dubois? Yes. Really? Nix Gottlieb looks up from the list. I hear he's quite unstable. You say that like it's a bad thing. Captain Ptolemy Price points his pen at the doctor. It's dim in his office, and the curtains are drawn. Harry's our man. He'll pull through, and when he does, he'll side with Revachol. Understood. Gottlieb returns to the list. Minnow? Of course.
Wonderful. Then can we please just go back to Jamrock now?